today.
Oh my
I
goodness.
saw that NWHL.
Fucking yeah, man! It was awesome.
that?
It was
Yeah.
badass. We train like 70% of the girls on the Boston team.
Really? They're not girls, by the way. They're women.
Women.
NWHL?
National Women's Hockey League.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was the New World Hockey League, which
Yep.
sounded like it could be very
It is.
exciting and
Snake
post-apocalyptic.
Plissken's in goalie.
That's what I was expecting.
I honestly did not know there was a National Women's Hockey League until like a month ago.
It's only
Like, how
4
long-
teams,
Okay.
and it's basically just in New England and New York and New Jersey. I think there's the New York Riveters who Boston the Boston Pride played today, and there's also a team in Connecticut. I mean, it would make sense for Hartford Whalers fans and
It
stuff.
makes sense to be a Northeastern league to start.
Well, I mean, they're a bus team.
Yeah,
I mean, so they
that's
don't
what
have
I
to
mean. And
cost.
if you're going to pick a hockey region in the U.S.,
Place was packed today.
That's good.
Place was. I mean, they did it at Harvard, and the place was pretty full. It was a ton of fun, and I don't go to a lot of hockey events, but it was just amazing to see those women who I've known just from training in our gym for so long to actually see them playing a game, because obviously I didn't go to the Olympics or anything. So that's.
were there a lot of them? Are they a lot of the Olympic players?
We at our gym we actually trained the women's national Olympic team.
Nice. We
Yeah.
beat them.
Yeah, I know, but it's
What
okay.
he's saying is
Well,
do
that's the
better.
greatest. That's the big rivalry. In the women's
It is.
hockey in the Olympics, it's the Americans and the Canadians, and they don't get along either.
No,
Really?
they don't,
It's a
and
big rivalry.
it's a super high level of hockey.
Oh yeah.
And it is just a blast to watch. It is, some people think that something is lost between men's and women's versions of anything, whether it be MMA or WNBA is an example. Like they can't dunk or something like that, but
It's just a different style of play. That's all.
It is, but it was just incredibly fast-paced, very exciting. 3-2 loss for Boston today, which is a bummer. But literally, just so many shots just should have went in and didn't today. But I'm literally planning on going next weekend again. Like I'm definitely
That's
going to go
awesome.
back and watch some more games.
That's fantastic. Hopefully, it'll start spreading north a little bit. I would not be shocked to see a Southern Ontario and Southern Quebec
Right.
team being added at some point.
Or Montreal. Like Montreal's right there.
Yeah. That's what I meant when I said Quebec.
Sorry, CJ.
How's it going?
Good. We're done. That's
That's
been
it?
hockey talk for
All right.
Tuesday, November. Speaking of which, I sold my copy of NHL 16, but we can talk about that later.
All right.
Gasp.
Still has his copy of NASCAR 16.
Well, that's for posterity.
Did you also have to trade in your Canadian birth certificate with that copy of?
No, I still own NHL 94. That's,
We can't take one unless we get the other, eh?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. As long as you've got a copy of NHL 94, you're fine.
Okay. Lucky you.
I'm getting buried with my copy.
On the technicality. Maintaining that citizenship.
All right. Should we do a clap?
Why not?
I think we should. All right. 3, 2, 1. That was lovely.
I feel like I
I
had a little
love
bit of a premature clap there, but that's cool. I was excited. So excited to be back.
Premature clapping?
Every now and again.
You know how it is.
Ugh.
And it's been a while. You haven't really clapped in a while, and it just builds up. The tension, the excitement.
It's a really forceful clap, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's one of the most satisfying ones you'll have.
Get a lot of distance off of it.
Yeah.
What?
Never mind, CJ. We'll tell you when you're older. Kevin's sitting there like, why do I tune in with these three dirty old men every week?
I have Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Alt Tab right now.
Yeah, I know, and
Just don't explain it.
WWE playing in the background, I'm sure. Survivor Series tonight.
Now I want to make sure the bandwidth is good, but I definitely have Assassin's Creed going right here, just in case shit hits the fan.
All right
We
then.
don't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Who's ready? Anyway, let's do this thing.
Do this. All right. Hello and welcome to episode 472 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, November 24th, 2015. That's a lot of, that. I'm your host, Chris Johnson. With me, as always,
A lot of words to have to string together in one go.
a lot of words. Yeah. I'm your host, Chris Johnson. With me this week. He wasn't here last week, but he's back, baby. Mr. Greg Seward. Hello.
Hello.
How's your Sega CD doing?
Glad to be here.
Broken?
Its feelings are a little hurt.
I bet that it is.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did you get fixed?
I fixed it myself a few weeks ago.
Done.
Didn't you
done,
listen to the
done.
There were photos. There was video. You can check it out. YouTube.com/Generation16. Video's right there.
And joining us from the great state of California, Mr. Phil Theobald.
That's
Hello.
my intro.
That's it. That's all I got for you.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
It's a great state.
Yeah.
How's the water situation there going? Still in need?
I'll tell you this. I just to test it out. What I usually do is when I go to work in the morning, I will turn on the faucet in my bathtub and just let it run.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, I will check and make sure. And it's still been running,
Okay.
so it can't be
Zoom
that
that
bad.
out.
Can't
All
be
right.
that bad. So
Excellent.
yeah.
And joining us again this week to talk more Fallout, Mr. Kevin Larrabee. Hello.
Of course, there is a WWE pay-per-view Survivor Series, one of the 4 big ones of the year. So
Oh, are there 4 big ones?
there's 12. There's 12. But
Good.
Like
there's
every other week,
4
Phil decides he's not going to show up, and then we have to get Kevin Larrabee on the horn, and usually there's a WWE event.
Man.
Right, because Phil's usually watching and he doesn't want to show up when The Undertaker is back, and they're celebrating 25 years of The Undertaker this year.
Wow. Christ.
On his farewell tour, he has a tag team match with his brother Kane,
Oh
the
my
Demon
gosh.
Kane from Hell. That is
Oh.
brother, his brother.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Of
they're
course,
going up against the Wyatt family. So that should be
Like Wyatt Earp?
quite a slobber knocker.
What?
What?
It's gonna be a hellacious match.
I'm hip to the WWE lingo.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crazy things going on because the main world heavyweight champion, Seth Rollins, he tore his ACL, MCL, so he's out. So they're having a tournament to figure out.
Yeah. You know what I bet that
That's a lot of
sounded
letters to
like?
tear.
You know what I bet that sounded like? Blop blop.
Yeah, I got some tweets about that this week.
You know what, CJ?
What?
That would have been the perfect time instead of doing the blop blop callback. That would have been a perfect time to bring back a screaming pregnant woman.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes. I
What
want
are you
to,
drinking? Ecto Cooler? Kevin
Yeah.
Larrabee just held up a glass, and I'm pretty sure it's Ecto Cooler.
No, it's authentic Japanese green tea from Nippon. And,
Oh.
Nippon. I mean, it's spelled Costco here, but
Oh.
that's what they call
Yeah.
it in Japan.
Right.
I like
That's some good
that
stuff.
you're shaving the head again.
No, I keep it at a 2 on the buzzer on the American
Close enough for me.
side, and it's working out. But I don't think we're here to talk about wrestling or my hair,
No.
Greg.
Well, we've done that.
Did Paul Bearer die?
He
Yes.
did. He died a couple years ago, and
Okay.
CM Punk got to do a great couple weeks trying to torment the Undertaker with his urn. He brought the urn with him, and he would like throw it like a football,
That is
like shake it
incredibly
up.
tasteless.
And
Oh.
actually, I don't know if you've heard about this, but wrestling is basically run by a bunch of carnies, and it
Yeah,
is still
yeah.
today.
Yeah, but see, I was okay with it when it was superheroes and men who brought snakes to the ring.
Hold on. Last point I'll make is that last week to finish up Raw, they did a contract signing with Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte is Ric Flair's daughter, and she's a badass. She's an awesome wrestler. Like
Some
literally-
wrestler.
No, she's great,
Magnificent.
and what they did,
Radiant.
she's
Is there
great.
a web?
And-
Humble.
where you can
okay,
see these things?
Very
What an
humble
asshole.
wrestler.
real quick. This is just to go on your point, Greg. Paige, who was her opponent at the contract signing, brought up her dead brother, who died in real life a couple years
What the
ago.
hell?
Like, because this is stuff. It is carny crap. Like, again, if you're on NeoGAF, the wrestling thread on there is outstanding. Just to see, like, throughout history, it's a bunch of racism, carny stuff, and women aren't female wrestlers or women wrestlers. They're divas. They're not women's
Yes.
wrestlers.
Sounds kind of like
terrible.
just the U.S. in general. Well,
Maybe
microcosm.
they could have maybe they should have called it the NDHL.
All right. Should we talk about some video games?
So Greg was fine with wrestling when it was superheroes and men with snakes and overt racism.
Was there overt racism back then?
Gee, I don't know. Let's ask the Iron Sheik.
Okay.
Let's ask Nikolai Volkov.
Let's talk about any African American
Nikolai
wrestlers.
Volkov
Yeah.
wasn't a racism thing. That was just
Yeah.
a
Let's
Cold
talk-
War thing.
Let's talk Junkyard Dog with the chain around his neck. Let's ask him.
Phil, you know what's up.
He lived in the junkyard.
Yeah.
This is depressing.
Another one bites the dust, baby.
Not sure where to go now after this.
Well,
I think
racism.
we just
It ties,
we just
ties
end the
right
show.
in. Ties right in to America's new political
how do we solve
landscape.
All
Yeah,
right.
how do we solve it? I like where this is going. Kevin,
I think
Open
Doritos
up.
Locos Tacos for everyone.
you know what? There are worse solutions.
I don't know about that.
I think I've heard several of them on the news.
Yes.
All right. So should we talk about this Kotaku article that went up last week called "A Price of Games Journalism," written by Stephen Totillo?
Tortilla.
Tortilla. Sorry.
I'm making fun of his name.
Wow. All right, Phil. So apparently, Kotaku had gotten some questions about their absence, their lack of a Fallout 4 review,
Yes.
and coverage on Assassin's Creed games and various Ubisoft things. So Stephen wrote this piece that basically explains that they have been blacklisted by Bethesda and Ubisoft, and for more than a year now,
Yes.
in Ubisoft's case, and several years in Bethesda's case, they have not gotten review copies of anything, and won't even get phone calls back on like news story checks, like fact checking stuff.
It's gotta
So
be a tough life. I can't imagine.
yeah. So what do you think?
I think that Steven has been around long enough to know that you can't have it both ways.
Exactly. You cannot have it both ways. You can't leak information about a publisher's brand new
Hey,
thing
hey,
and then expect
no.
them to answer your phone calls.
No, CJ, no. They're
What?
not leaking information. They're not just throwing information out there to get the quick hits. They are newsmen. This is
And
classic.
women about news.
I'm mad as hell. And I'm not going to take it anymore.
consumer
news
products that are in development.
journalism.
Consumers
This
must
is-
know
That's
about them as
just it.
soon.
I mean, there's this sort of this strangely huge weight being put on what they're doing here somehow. But you know what? Like, I mean, leaking information, going around the PR machine and leaking information. Sure, that's important. If that's how you want to serve your readers, great. But then don't whine when
Well,
that
you know
PR
what?
machine won't work with
To be fair, you read the article. He doesn't come off as whining about it.
you.
He is
I feel
more
like it does.
explaining the situation.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah, it's also his way of trying to apply pressure to those two companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're under no obligation to like.
No.
The thing is anyway. Like, I mean, the thing is they're in media's in a weird position right now because the fact that like as far as like all the reviews and things like that, man, they don't need Hang on, my TV just came on.
Uh-oh.
They don't need the Kotakus of the world anymore. Not really, when you've
No.
got YouTubers out there who are willing to review your games.
And produce videos specifically
Sorry.
around your games, not just review the games, but produce
Cover
content around it.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to be a PR mouthpiece.
No.
And I like it seems like that's always what everyone kind of thinks, that you're either one or the other, and I don't think that's true. I think that that's serving your readers as well. Working within the confines of that system is also serving your readers, because you don't get into situations where they won't speak to you anymore.
Yeah.
And you're able to bring more information to your readers. But it's totally legitimate to work outside of it and release information that they don't want released, but then don't be a baby about it when they don't want to work with you anymore.
Exactly. So
you know what I mean?
you gotta look at the technology journalism that has been around for years, and specifically sites that run Apple rumors, right? You got MacRumors.com and 9to5Mac, both of which have been blacklisted by Apple and aren't invited to their events or given review copies of anything.
Gizmodo too.
They
With
still
the
find a
Apple
way
Store.
to cover the stuff, right?
You just have to work harder at it.
Or you go all in on reporting rumors, right?
Yeah, well, that's
that's going to be the thing to do.
If that's who
And,
you're gonna be, then do it.
You have to understand the consequences. And very recently, actually, a site called iFixit.com got their hands on a developer kit for the new Apple TV, and they disassembled it and published the result, like published the whole thing. And they got their developer account taken away by Apple, and they're basically not going to get invited to anything.
And I mean,
Never
in that
again.
situation, again, it's a question of knowing the consequences. Because
Exactly,
I'm sure
which
where
they
have
did.
a
They
developer
did.
account, they signed some sort of form that said they wouldn't do exactly what they did.
And they did, yes.
So
That's right.
you know,
They weighed the consequences, and there you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but whatever.
What do you think, Kevin? You're about to say something.
I think Kotaku is overall it's a really good site today. It has, I think Jason and Steven bring a lot of great video game journalism to the table when it comes to exposing some stuff in the industry. I'm not talking about like leaks about a new game that's coming out, but stuff that they've done in terms of workplace practices and things like that. I think they've brought a lot of good stuff. I think the problem that Kotaku still has is that they have to still post stuff throughout the day, and that is press release stuff. That is, some stuff that even Steven has come out and said, like, yeah, this was a mistake, like blog posts that they've made. Like one was about like a fake Sega fan or something like that, like sleeping in his Sonic bed sheets and like making fun of potentially what was their audience and things like that. But I think with all this, it seems like you have two main sides. You have the editorial side and you have the PR side. And I think Greg is being he's kind of right. It does sound to a certain extent like they're almost like getting the stuff out there to see if they can get that fair treatment back, even though they've done things to potentially hurt Ubisoft and Bethesda and things like that. And the only thing I would say is, like, I just don't want to hear people say, like, well, we deserve copies of your game weeks before release for a review. Just don't say that. Like, and if you just, like, you don't have the right to that. You don't have the right to get games early. You may have the privilege to get games early if that that publisher thinks that you deserve it, or that you're going to give, obviously favorable coverage, like if they think it's a really good game. But that's the only thing I just don't like seeing is privilege from game journalists, and you don't really see it a lot. And I don't think that's the point they were trying to make with this stuff. It is just the one thing that I kind of read as like, dude, just get, like you said, you got Jason was in the NeoGAF thread talking about how they got Fallout 4 from a store. They reviewed it a week later. It still got 250,000 views or something like that. It still did really good. And like, yeah, that's cool. Like, your review probably wasn't going to tip the scales for people when there's Metacritic today, but I like that reviewer. I'm still going to go see what that reviewer has to say about that game if I haven't bought it yet.
I think part of it is page views, right? Like,
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, it's huge. and the
Kotaku
whole
is
thing driven by that.
Mhm.
gonna,
Yeah.
like, if they can't get Ubisoft and Bethesda to answer their emails or send them press blasts or include them in the reindeer games, basically, then it costs them hits,
Mhm.
big time, right? And at this point, yeah, Bethesda and Ubisoft don't need outlets because they've got their own YouTube channels, they've got their own social media team and community managers, basically doing a lot of this stuff that the traditional video game press used to do, making it almost, better without them. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
personally, I do read some of the sites, but a lot of the time now, the coverage is watered down with other stuff that is unrelated to video games. Like, I don't need to see a review of some movie on Polygon
Or a new drink that's in
Kotaku.
Japan or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump in, but there was just one other point that I forgot to make,
Sure.
and I forgot what that point was.
Well, I think going back to what CJ said about costing page views, I mean, yes, and that's, and you look at, obviously, Steven and that crew are running a business.
Sure.
They've got, they've definitely got quotas to meet as far as page views go and things like that. So again, the thing is you need to think through what you're about to do. When you're going to post something that you know is going to irritate one of the publishers that you work with,
Mhm.
then be damn sure that it's worth it.
I think
know.
the interesting thing is that when these decisions were made, like the Bethesda thing was what, 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ubisoft thing, like
I think it happened twice. It had one run-in with them, then it cleared up, and then they had another run-in with them.
With Unity, and then when they saw the leak of what became Syndicate, but then at the
Right.
time was Victory.
Right.
yeah,
So
I
they
mean,
spoiled too.
Hmm.
I think YouTubers and other sites are just, coming up to replace. Like, to me, yeah, Bethesda and Ubisoft are not harmed by this at all.
Well,
Plus,
I'm sorry.
Kotaku's still going to run a story even if they miss out on the announcement that there's a launch trailer going live 2 p.m. on Monday. They're still going to report it.
So, sorry, I remember those two things. First, now it's two things. First, those stories specifically that got them blacklisted or whatever, they damaged those companies, and
Yeah.
not only like the company as like not companies or people companies, but they potentially hurt people working at those companies, people that needed to then ramp up some kind of like PR cycle or potentially like just leak information that caused people to work 80-hour weeks in the next 2 weeks to make sure that they could cover this stuff, to make sure that it was ready to be talked about. And also, when they have stories about like the things with Unity and Assassin's Creed Victory and Fallout 4, when they're just leaking content about a game, I just don't see that as super vital stuff that deserves
Right.
like
No.
praise. Like, man, some guy who was pissed off at Ubisoft. I'm not saying that isn't what happened, but I'm just saying as an example, there's some guy that's pissed off at Nintendo, emailed you like the next 3 games that they're getting to announce, and you spoil that for him. Like, I don't know if that's journalism or if that's just like, hey, like we're gonna get people to the website. I don't know because I'm not a journalist.
It's a forum. I mean, it is a forum, and it's totally legit. It's totally fair for them to do that. So, like I say, just don't expect that company is going to want to work with you after that.
Okay.
Because they're under no obligation to anyone. I mean, this has been happening forever. I mean, when we were all back at Ziff Davis, our various magazines got blacklisted and/or had ads pulled, and I think we all 3 of us at some point or another got to sit in a room where a PR person yelled at us for something we said about their game.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Or Victor Ireland, but it happens. But I mean, the thing is that you kind of at first you're obviously very defensive because it's like, well, I'm just doing my job, but then you really stop and think, well, you know what? They're just doing their job too. Like, it is in their best. It is their job to make sure that their product and their company is shown in the best light possible. Does that mean you have to be a puppet? No.
Right.
But
now these
if
companies,
you do something where they don't think you're being fair to them at the very least, then
especially with AAA
absolutely cut
games,
you off.
they are spending millions and millions of dollars in development on this, and they have a PR plan, right?
Right.
They want to stick to, and get people excited about the game at certain times, like with different marketing beats or pre-order campaigns or special trailers. Like this is just the way that that games PR has moved, and when you leak things early, you completely ruin that. So even not on even on a personal level, like totally screws somebody's job up. Like and to expect that they're going to want to work with you again on this stuff is just really, I think, naive and putting more importance on what you do than the outreach that some of these companies do via YouTube and social. Like, yeah.
Oh, that's the big thing. The balance has totally shifted because I mean, like 15 years ago, the publishers definitely needed the media.
Yes.
More than they do now. Now it's really shifted to the point where the media needs the publishers a lot more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because now they're dependent on them for their content when, like you said, they're getting that content out to the world on their own.
Yeah. Oftentimes hiring former games journalists to work on those teams to do it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Good times. I don't see Bethesda or Ubisoft changing anything due to that piece.
Do you guys see a shift in games journalism over the next, or whatever you want to call it, in like the next 5 years? Because there are the YouTube people, there's what Giant Bomb did, and there's still the Kotakus and the Polygons that are trying to get a new story up every hour. It seems like they're going to be in a little bit of trouble because a lot of the stuff seems to go a lot more personality driven.
I think you'll see. I mean, I think you see it with Kotaku now, and you see it with Polygon now, where there's a lot more fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yeah.
You just don't have the time to do it. Like, I mean, I think it's sad in a way, and I feel bad for those people in general because they're under extreme pressure to deliver content when there's no content there sometimes.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
All right, so Beyond Two Souls, we're getting a remaster this week.
I told you that.
This week, though.
I didn't know it was coming this week, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Didn't I mention that like a couple weeks ago?
You did mention it, yeah.
Heard it here first.
That first-party PlayStation portfolio for winter, Christmas 2015.
What are you saying that the portfolio is not good? You don't like remasters and multi-platform games?
Oh, I mean, Microsoft is. I mean, I know you're being facetious, but Microsoft by far has the best first-party portfolio for Christmas season this year, and I think Sony still has some nice bundaroos with that's South Park. Come on, you guys didn't watch that?
I don't watch South Park.
PlayStation 4 bundaroo. When they did the launch of Xbox One and PlayStation 4, there was it was funny, like the guy from Sony. It's really good. Go check that out. Anyways, I think Sony's trying to push another SKU out, which it's fine. It's a cool game. I liked it.
Yeah, me too. But
William Dafoe in 4K maybe next year. Next.
And Ellen Page, that good Halifax girl.
Nothing wrong with remasters, especially if you didn't play them on PS3.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a good game, I thought.
Yeah,
I heard it was good. And apparently this one they are changing it so you can play it in chronological order. There's a new mode.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hello.
So,
weird.
Yeah. Could be interesting.
Huh.
That would really change it. Anyway.
All right, and in other Sony news, with the release of... Is it Bounty Hunter that came out? What was the PS2 game that came out on PS4 along with Battlefront? That was included in that bundle. That bundaloo.
Wasn't one of the Starfighters?
It was one of them.
I wasn't really paying
Anyway, so that basically got a lot of sites talking about PS2 backward compatibility on the PS4. And Sony confirmed that indeed they are working on emulation for the PS2 on the PS4.
Wasn't it Digital Foundry that confirmed that the PS2 games that were released were actually running on an emulator?
Yes, that is correct.
So that's cool.
The games that came with the The PS4 console and Battlefront included Super Star Wars for Super Nintendo, Star Wars Race for Revenge, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, and Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I think Bounty Hunter is the one that was the PS4 version, yeah? Something like that.
PS2 version, yeah.
Anyway, what do you... I mean, to me, a lot of the PS2 games I wanted to play were already remastered on the PS3.
You know what? I kind of feel the same way, but still, like the PS2 library was massive.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I mean, for everything that has come out in some form, there's still a ton of content out there that can get you. So I mean, I
That's
would
true.
say that there's still plenty to get excited about there. And for anybody who didn't experience PS2 the first time around, I mean, not only was that library massive, but it had some of the best games of the past 20 years in it. Like everything good came out on the PS2.
I wonder if this means that we'll be able to put in PS2 discs, or if
That would
it'll
be
be
nice.
one of those things where you have to buy it again
I'm
digitally.
guessing the
Maybe
latter.
like Microsoft's doing it, where you put in the 360 disc and it's technically just acting as a download key.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be the perfect way to do it.
That would
Yeah.
be nice.
That'd be very good.
Although the fridge is full on both my consoles now, I noticed.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I got Battlefront, and I had to clean out a ton of stuff to get it to install, and same thing with Fallout. I had to
Did
clean
you,
out a bunch of stuff on the Xbox One to get Fallout to install.
Did you upgrade the hard drive in your PS4 or anything
No.
like that? You just
No,
you're 500 gig on both.
probably.
Huh. All right.
Listen, don't judge me.
All right.
Black Friday's
Johnston,
coming up, man. You can get a
disapproval
nice
in
2
your eyes.
terabyte, laptop drive for your PS4.
That's what I'll end
Yeah,
up
those
doing.
are cheap now.
$80, like $70.
Once
Yeah.
Christmas is over, I'll do that.
And the Xbox is even easier. You can get an external, and you
Right.
can get a 4 terabyte drive and hook it up to it
For
So-
nothing.
for nothing.
And the games load faster off it.
Yeah.
There you
No,
go.
that'll be my what I'll spend some if there's a Christmas bonus around. I'll probably be spending money on that
All right.
because
all right.
I don't want to keep cleaning the systems out. I want to keep that stuff on there so I can play whenever I
What
want.
about your Jelly of the Month club? You're not getting that this year?
Shitter's full.
Hear that, honey?
You checked our shitters?
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch that movie again this year.
I am so me too. I'm like just.
Uh,
I was on a website looking up a mug that said that because my uncle and I, every time we see each other in December, that's the first thing we say to each other.
Nice.
Uh,
So hey, it's been 10 years since the Xbox 360 came out. 10 glorious years
Kevin's losing it.
since we played Cameo.
I think we have an intro. I think we have a
Perfect
title for
Zero.
the episode.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cameo.
Cameo.
So what you're really saying here is it's the 10-year anniversary of Cameo.
Sure, if you want to take it that way. Yeah.
Word up.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, word up.
Perfect Dark Zero.
Oh,
Ah, good. Yes.
Uh,
But you know what though? Perfect Dark Zero is crap. It's exactly like Diet Perfect Dark.
that's true. See?
There is absolutely no
Same
difference
Crappy aspartame aftertaste.
between.
mm,
Forgetting that it had a outstanding online multiplayer. With the online components of Xbox 360, it was the go-to outside of Call of Duty 2.
See, Call of Duty 2 was my 360 launch game. That
was amazing too.
that was a
that
good
game was incredible.
game.
And of course, Project Gotham. Which is so sad that they're gone. But
Yes.
Oh, Project Gotham 3, man. Yeah, that game. Wow. What a jaw-dropping game for
Oh, yeah.
that console. Man, that game looked incredible.
mm-hmm.
Geometry Wars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Instead of the new Xbox experience, we had the blades.
Oh,
Which we all ended up missing so much.
Yeah.
that's the sound of the blades.
Well, how does that go again? All right.
Fizz, fizz.
good times. And Kevin, I think you added this to our outline here. Shinobi 3 and Street Fighter 2 vinyls.
Yeah,
soundtracks.
I just wanted to mention this real quick because Datadiscs, datadiscs.com, data-disc.com, I think. Not affiliated or anything, but they continue to pump out awesome Yuzo Koshiro soundtracks with Street Fighter, one they did, and I just got this Shinobi 3 vinyl.
That is
and
awesome. That looks so good.
3 Yuzo Koshiro?
Yes, it was.
Oh, sweet. I, for some reason, didn't know that.
Nope, actually, I'm completely wrong. I am completely wrong. It's
Shinobi.
right on the back. It says music composed by Hirofumi Murasaki, Maruhiko Akiyama. Man, I'm doing good on the Japanese names tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And Masayuki Nagao.
Nagao.
Yeah, so I apologize for that, and I apologize. I tweeted to Yuzo. I apologize,
Oops.
man.
Oh,
My fault.
what a...
Not to downplay
faux
that soundtrack. That soundtrack.
I'm going to mangle the Japanese here, but what a faux pas.
The one thing I will say is like these things are really cool for people that like old games because they always like have inserts like this. I showed you guys earlier. I'm not going to pull it out now because I don't want to mess it up, but like I'm totally going to get this frame. This is a super long piece of artwork, which is basically like the thing on the front and back, but just longer.
The packaging itself looks really, really nice, actually.
The packaging itself is nice. I think it's like $40 to get this thing, totally shipped to the U.S., which is a little bit of money. But they've done this. They did, like I said, Street Fighter. They did Shenmue 1, and they just came out with Hang On. That's their latest release, the arcade soundtrack. And of course, with Street Fighter 2. Those are the guys at Brave Wave that did that, and they did a 4-disc vinyl set.
That's crazy.
It is super crazy, and I got they sent me, Mohammed sent me I guess they're calling it a reviewer's copy of the soundtrack, like the remastered soundtrack, and it kicks ass. Like, it is outstanding. It has all of Street Fighter 2. It has also Super Street Fighter 2. All the ending tracks, and even has like a separate track at the end for just sound effects. So if you need like super clean remastered Street Fighter 2 sound effects, you got that. And like again with them, they're just doing really great packaging. And the point of all this is just to say that, man, it kicks ass that this stuff is out here, and there's people like Brave Wave, like Mohammed and Alex that are doing this stuff and making it available. And I spent $120 on Street Fighter 2 music yesterday, so that's cool, and they're sold out. But hopefully they'll do another run after they do this initial shipment, and people can check them out. But yeah, like, man, guys, this is cool. We're getting like vinyl video game music like 2015.
Yep. It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
I would have bought it if it came out in the 90s.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't have a turntable anymore, so or as we called it back then, a record player.
Okay.
They're cheap though. They're super cheap now.
I know, but
The one thing I just hope is that
Nintendo on other things.
Nintendo is holding back so much amazing video game music in their vault that they haven't released on CDs, and if they did, it was exclusive, like Japanese Club Nintendo stuff that is incredibly expensive. And I really wish they would release some more of this music, because they just obviously have, with Koji Kondo and of course the other composers at Nintendo, just some of the best video game music of all time.
Totally.
Won't disagree with that.
Sega Genesis music's awesome, 8-4. What's up?
All right, should we talk about Fallout?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play any Fallout this week.
What?
I did. Well, this week,
What?
it was the end of our first quarter. So I was compiling report cards and having parent-teacher conferences. So I had no time.
All right.
No time for the wasteland.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Greg, did you play some Fallout?
Yeah, I played some more Fallout. I successfully avoided getting sucked into the black hole that is community building.
I haven't touched that yet.
Yeah,
either.
See, that to me demonstrates like exactly why these games scare the crap out of me, because I play in like hour and a half chunks, and I could just totally get lost in that. And like actually, when I turned the game on that night, I'm like, okay, that's it. If I'm ever gonna finish this, I'm gonna mainline it. I'm not doing anything that I don't have to do.
What?
I'm gonna mainline the story.
You are no.
And I screwed
That is the
around
wrong
there.
way to play.
Oh, man.
And then it's like,
Wrong way.
okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So then it's like, okay, I'm going to Diamond City. Great, I'm gonna head to Diamond City. I'm gonna focus. Head to Diamond City. And
Wrong
then
way to play still.
I get into
You're playing it wrong.
I get
You're
into
playing it
town. I get into town, and then of course it's like you've discovered a new radio signal. So I tune in, and it's that distress call for the police station. Like, well, I got to go do that. So now I'm already like,
yeah.
we're just completely. I can't play those games that way. It's the same reason I never finished Metal Gear Solid 5 yet. It's the same reason I never finished Witcher 3 yet, because like in Metal Gear Solid 5, if a side op pops up, I go do the side op. In Witcher 3, if there's a side quest available, I go do the side quest. Like I
Really?
leave the story missions to the end, always. So that's why I never finish these games. But I can't help it because it's way more fun to do all the side missions.
So stuff like the settlement building, I really haven't touched that stuff because
Not needed apparently.
it's not needed is what I hear, and the other thing is they don't really tell you a lot about what to do.
No.
They don't give you like a lot of instruction. So and the controls in that mode are kind
Crap.
of awful for constructing things, so I just don't even bother with it. I just put that aside.
My big kind of disappointment too was a buddy. I was over at a buddy's place last night who was playing it, and he's built up his settlement pretty well. But it looks like there's no real physics to the building. It's like he has platforms just floating in midair. Like,
That's right. You can do that. Yeah.
That's kind of a shame. But anyway.
But if they put physics on it, you'd never be able to build anything in that game with the controls the way that they are, and
That's true.
yeah, you'd never be able to do it. You'd have no chance. But I wanted to say, like, the way that you're describing playing, like the way that I play Fallout is I turn the game on, I look at the list of quests, I decide on one quest line that, I haven't done this, or, I want to try this, and I go ahead and, like, jump into it from there. And I don't even really care. It's not really marked which things are, like, main quest and which things are side quests. There is a section that's, like, miscellaneous on the bottom of the list, but...
That would be side quests.
Well, but no, there's
no.
like a lot of the stuff is just kind of mixed in there. So... and when I get a new quest, I don't necessarily continue on with it. I continue on with the new thing. I have been attempting anyway to play most things to their ends, for the most part. Yeah. And except in points where I get stuck and don't have resources to complete some things, and then I go off and do something else for a little while and come back to it.
Yeah, I mean that's the way you're describing is the way I play it too. I mean, I'm not really flighty about the quests that I do, but like right now I'm in the point of this game where there's only like one or two quests available. Period. So
Really?
normally, like in The Witcher, normally that's kind of how I would do it too. Is I would set one quest, and even if I discover a new quest in the process, I still finish the one I'm on.
Sure.
Right.
And then but the thing is that when I like in The Witcher, they had them separated between like story quests, side quests, and then like Witcher contracts, I think they were called. And like until I've done everything I can in the side quests and the contracts list, I won't touch the story list. That's just the way I play. Which is why it takes so long. And it's the same thing with Metal Gear. If there's a side op available, I'm not doing a story mission. I'm doing the side op.
Yeah. I've been, taking the long road to my various destinations, so I'll see a point on the map that it's telling me to go to, and I will head that direction, but I will inevitably stumble upon like 5 different things to do and explore, and I probably won't get to that destination in that play session.
Right.
But I'll still be having a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, well
And-
that's the beauty of those games.
Well, the thing about the side quests in this game, I feel like side quests in general are like, you fetch this, fetch that, like very short things usually that you can wrap up very quickly. In this game, I feel like the side quests have like their own quest line that continues. You may do the first thing, then it opens a second thing, third thing, fourth thing, fifth thing. Oh, there's an optional thing here that I can do too. Like they are not like, oh yeah, go get me this thing from this other town and come back, and that's the end of it. Like, it's almost never that way, and that has been some of the most enjoyable moments of this game for me. Is going on this very long quest and just enjoying the hell out of it. Spending like 5 hours doing one quest line.
I think this game should be nominated for the Steal My Sunshine Award for 2015 because this game has kept my ass indoors and like long playthroughs, and this is of course in honor of in memory of Len, who is no longer with us. Steal My Sunshine, great song. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. Yes.
Thank you. Try it. So
good song.
CJ is spot on. This is probably the best game of the year, and it's not the best playing game of the year. It is just in terms of a package. It is some of the most fun I've ever had with a video game because you just never know what's going to be around the corner. Going, like CJ said, you go to a quest, and you might not know what you're going to stumble on. Like, I stumbled on a quarry, and like it was heavily guarded, and I went inside it, and I got to see this I got to see some incredible story stuff that really had nothing to do with what my character needed to do. But you constantly stumble on these areas that are just jam-packed with story. Like I said last week, with really no text or no dialogue, it's just you stumble upon like this crazy stuff throughout the environment, and
it's all worthwhile. It is not
like it's like holy shit, this is awesome.
Silly fetch quests in other games, and then you're having like these big quest lines that feel really exciting and satisfying when you're done.
And even on the way there, like tons of crazy stuff happens because when the Brotherhood of Steel come marching into town, they start flying their planes around. And if they see some shit they don't like, they start, fighting. Like it is like you remember in Doom when you could get like the guys to fight each other, and you're like, oh my god, look at this character interaction. Like these systems that are in place to allow this kind of crazy like stuff to go on, like this infighting, or again, just like Brotherhood of Steel versus like just these scavengers or something like that, and like you'll just see super mutants shooting nukes at these planes and shooting the planes down, and then they actually get down to the ground, and then you're just like helping the Brotherhood of Steel, not a mission, just chilling out, helping them mow down these dudes, and you get some awesome stuff, and you got a lot of help doing it. But one thing I want to talk to you, CJ, is about the economy of this game.
Yeah.
The economy sucks.
Well,
that's the biggest issue I have with this.
Isn't that true anywhere? Even in real life, real world?
Sure, but caps are meaningless in this game. Store owners are meaningless in this game, in my view. I've found the best weapons I've found have been on legendary enemies that have dropped incredible weapons, like weapons that have made me unstoppable in this game now, where I'm at right now. And you mentioned on Twitter that you didn't have many of the energy packs for the armor, where I have like 17 of them, but I also like
the cores.
The energy cores.
Fuel core, yeah.
Fuel core, sorry. And I have just not. I guess I've used the armor when I find it, because you find armor all over the place.
You do, yeah. You find a lot of it, but not so many fusion cores. In my case, anyway. Maybe I haven't been looking in the right places. So, the fusion cores power those suits, and then I'll get like halfway through a mission, and I'll be like,
right. And you just leave the suit there.
Pop out of it, leave the suit in the sewers.
Edge of Tomorrow stuff.
Come back and get it later. But in addition, like it's not just the side quests, or it's not just like the random shit that you'll see in the environment that happens. It's also these the companions that you meet, like, and can take with you on this stuff, right? Because and when you first start playing, you don't realize, you get dog meat and he follows you around and does stuff, and then you meet Nick Valentine, and you start meeting like a bunch of these other ancillary characters that can come with you on quests, and as you bring them along, you start to form like a relationship with them, and you'll even start talking with them, and they will tell you new things, or they'll say like, this is, you know, where I came from, or this is like a personal story about me, and then you'll get like even more quests to go on that involve them more directly. Like it's a pretty amazing game, pretty rich, and it's blowing my mind really. And I am somebody who played Fallout 3 like 15 hours. Didn't really get into it, and Fallout 4 just has me completely.
Wait a minute. How do you play something for 15 hours that you didn't really get into? You're like those people on Steam who give something a 1-star rating, and when you look at the time played, it's like 5,000 hours.
Well, I liked the time that I had, but I didn't go back to it and want to see more of it after 15 hours. I don't even know how much time I played Fallout 4, but it is well beyond 15 hours at this point.
All right, then.
I'm 22.
My character is level 24, and I'm having a blast. With it.
It's just the universe that they created in that game, the characters, the stories that you may stumble upon, you may not, makes it just some of the. It is what video games can be. You know what I mean? Like, it is something that you could only do in this medium, is tell this story that's going on in this world. You couldn't tell it in 7 seasons of a TV show, but you could tell it in this game, and it's just amazing to see that.
And it has a lot of problems.
Not on the PC. You know what? I turned an encumbrance off. I can carry 9,000 pounds of stuff. I have 3.
You can turn encumbrance off?
Fat Mans. On the PC, in the console.
Computer hacking.
Cheating.
That's
no, it's
totally
not
cheating.
Oh, kiss my ass! Like, it is literally like
That escalated quickly.
no, that is a terrible thing, because that is a thing that is just keeping me from, like, oh man, I'm gonna fast travel back to Diamond City, then back to this place to pick up the stuff, then back to Diamond City, then back to pick up. Like, who cares? Like, it's just like, again, I think the bottle caps are worthless.
Game Genie level crap right there. Game Genie.
That's when you load down your companion with as many items as they can carry.
I know, but I can carry as much as I want, and I have, like I said, I got tons of awesome stuff. So again, this is my butthead.
It's a sandbox. It's a sandbox game. Like,
no, you know what? If you can do that and it makes the game more enjoyable, then do it.
Exactly. You should do it. Yeah.
Right, and I'm not cheating. Like, I haven't unlocked. Like,
no, you're cheating, but that's cool. That's what I'm saying.
No.
If it's making the experience better for you, then use that invincibility cheat.
I'm just slowly seeing that people might be right. PCs might be the best place to play games.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's so easy to cheat on them. My goodness.
No, I'm saying it because I'm playing this game at 60 frames per second, and I'm not running into any issues with it. Like, it runs super smooth. I can stream it, and it still runs at 60 frames per second with ultra settings. Like, it's... And the same thing I'll talk about with Assassin's Creed later.
When I'm talking about technical jank in this game, I don't necessarily mean frame rate. I mean things like falling through stairs and not being able to get out and having
falling
to
through quarries.
Falling through quarries. Exactly, or
Happens.
seeing things like bodies floating, which I took a picture of it and posted it on Twitter. Museum of Witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's a very weird moment, because this is the second time that I went into the building, because there's a difficult enemy in there, and I had to like go and get some power armor and come back. And I came back, and there was a floating enemy sitting there. And also, there were fewer mannequins in the room than there were when I was first there, and that was really freaky.
That's
awesome. this game, it's too good. It's too good. I don't want it to end at this point.
Right.
And I'm playing it on remote play on Vita. I have played a lot on the Vita. So
That's
much
cool.
so that when I went to play it on the PS4 today, I accidentally pressed up to go into the VATS system instead of L1. Like, I was too used to the Vita controls. Anyway,
That's real cool.
it's a fun game, for sure. It's up there in my Game of the Year list, for sure. So
It's good.
I want
I need to play more of it, but it's good.
Greg and Phil, you got to play more and get into
I'm
this.
telling you what. It's got to have to split time with Tomb Raider. I can't let Tomb Raider sit on the shelf. I enjoyed the last game too much,
Mm.
so gotta play it.
All right, fine.
I
Sorry
just had work to do. It wasn't a matter of not wanting to. I just had a job.
Oh, I'm Phil, and I have a job, so now I'm so busy.
Exactly.
Don't you just do grades like with the blood code for Mortal Kombat? Just use
Let's-
Abacab.
Let's be honest. It's all just about which students are your favorite, right?
That's
Just pictures
No.
like A,
no,
B, G.
no.
Okay.
It's whoever has the hottest mom.
Oh,
That's how you.
See, I thought I was crossing a line. I figured I was gonna get like the tongue lashing after the show. It's like, dude, don't say stuff like that.
No, that's terrible. That's terrible. No,
It's open season now, baby.
no.
there you go.
My goodness.
All right, Greg, you
Yeah.
must have been playing something other than Fallout. You want to tell us about what you've been?
I
you've been
fired up
doing?
a few different games this week. First of all, I grabbed Persona 4 Golden because $10.
$10 on the
Oh,
PSN. I
store.
should have waited.
Holy
Okay,
Should have waited.
I got like literally 20 tweets about this because I talked about it on the show and I told you guys to get it. And they're like, "What, Kevin? What? It's on sale this week. Why did you wait?" I'm like, if you need me to say sorry for making you buy one of the best games of all time, like, even if you're joking, come on, man, save the text. Don't need it. You bought one of the best games ever for $20. You're good.
I'm thinking about eBaying my copy and then buying
So-
it digital. Just kidding. Kidding.
Get it signed by Miyazaki.
You get it signed by Miyamoto.
Anyway, so
Hero. 'Cause he didn't.
the game is gorgeous.
It is, isn't it?
Throwing it out there, Yuzo Koshiro. Yeah, and I mean the presentation in general is really, really impressive. Although I will say, and this is not me bagging on the game,
Yes, it is.
it is. Man, I can't wait for it to start.
Yes.
It's okay, guys. I mentioned this to you on Twitter, and it does take about 5 or 8 hours to get everyone introduced, to introduce the setting, to
That's
get
too
you.
much.
It's not too much because it's
In
an
today's
80-hour
free-to-play
game.
world, you need to introduce all the characters
Oh,
within the
gross.
first. Just kidding.
Oh, gross. This is, again, I would say don't feel like you need to like rush to get
I
to the
don't.
game.
I
But-
don't.
I swear, like, again, it took me, 3 years to beat this game. Just keep playing it in.
Is this game really that old?
Yes.
Well, it came out in 2009 on the PlayStation 2.
Damn.
Yeah.
I did not realize.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I feel like
fantastic.
it's slow, in that way that Shenmue is slow.
Yeah,
A lot of exposition,
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
like just
great comparison.
kind of garbage tasks that you have to do. Like, I don't know.
Wait, but like what's an example?
An example is going to you have to like get up and go to school every day and do the whole club thing after
that's-
school, and like I feel like that's an encumbrance. I want to turn off encumbrances via a console
PC.
code. Just go through this. I know you can skip story, but then if you skip the story in Persona, then you're kind of skipping the point of the game, and I don't want to do that. But then the
Right.
story bits are so like long and drawn out, and in that way, the Shenmue. Do you remember what happened on the day of the incident? The day of the incident, blah, 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 like this is what I'm saying.
It's a great game.
No, I'm still really enjoying it. It's just funny because I generally play it like I take my Vita to bed and play like a half an hour, and I finish the half hour.
You
It's like I don't feel
Get
like
through
I'm
2
in any
dialogue scenes and
progress.
you're done.
But I mean, it's it's a slow burn. I get that, and that's why it's perfect for a portable.
Yeah.
I would much rather play it in like half-hour chunks and enjoy what I'm doing than
Perfect.
sit in front of my television for an hour and a half and feel like I didn't accomplish anything.
Perfect. Yeah.
You bring it back to Fallout?
No,
Settlement
not
building?
at all. Why?
Ah,
Why is
boy.
everyone so touchy?
You're in a rip on Fallout?
No.
Okay.
Jeez, here's Greg sitting around with his wine and cheese, not wanting to play Fallout.
My caffeine-free Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
There you go. What else have you
Zero,
been playing?
whatever it's called. I also started to play Undertale, which I don't know if you've been on the internet. You know what Undertale is, I think, because it's gotten a lot of positive press. So this is an indie RPG, and the key thing here is that it's not about fighting to gain levels, although you can do that, but it's all about empathy, which is interesting. So I started playing this mostly, to be honest. I'd heard about it a bunch, and then friend of the show, Joe Walker, Space Kappa, did a video of it, and he was really enthralled by it. So I was like, okay, and it was not that expensive, so I'll give it a try. And I actually was playing it in the evenings when I was traveling there to Montreal last week, and I was really enjoying what I played. But I've hit kind of a spot now where I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep going. It's not grabbing me the way I was expecting it to. Excuse me, and maybe it's just the latest example of like the hype was too much and the game can't live up to it. Could be the case. But it's just there's a puzzle I'm at now that I'm having to keep repeating. Not really finding it a whole lot of fun. And the game's been okay, but it hasn't really, like I said, it hasn't really grabbed me. And it was kind of funny because we actually we have a listener who I actually have worked with previously too. He's a game. I don't know if he's. I want to call. Yeah, he's a game designer. Hacker alias Docky, who we might actually have a question from later.
Oh yeah.
And he tweeted recently that he has stopped at the exact same spot I am. And for the exact same reason. So I am going to go back to it at some point, but a little bit. The game feels uneven right now, and I know there's supposed to be this great payoff, but I where I am in the game, I can't even really see it at this point, so I'm not sure I'm going to keep going with it. Now this might lead to a Twitter conversation with Joe. I don't know, to tell me that I should follow up with it, but. In the meantime, yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's worth checking out. It is worth checking out. I feel like I've gotten my money's worth from the game already, but it feels like it's really sort of ground to a halt for me. But it is interesting to see things like rather than just fighting everything, which you can do, you can actually try different commands, like to talk to somebody or to joke with them or things like that. And the whole point is to actually flee or spare your enemies, and it actually has a major effect on the way the game ends. But it's got this weird save system where it's not like you can roll back to a previous save and it erases everything you've done since then. It saves everything you do, even if you roll back to a previous save file somehow. Everything has an effect. So it's an interesting thought. It's an interesting idea. I'm trying to think. There was one other game that I played this week.
Battlefront?
That's what it is. Star Wars Battlefront.
Who could forget about
Which
that?
I love so much that I forgot the name of. And the funny thing is it's the only game sitting right here on my desk in front of me.
Wow, look at that.
And we confirm that it's open too.
Oh yeah, I've been playing it for a few hours now. Really, really like this game a lot.
So, but it's multiplayer only, right? You have to play.
I know, but it's Star Wars, and it's enough for me right now. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm really, really enjoying it. And you know, one of the things I really love about it, it's not too gory. It's not gory at all. There's no blood or anything. And
Which
it's
is
got
weird
single-
because Star Wars is usually really just over the top,
No, that's kind of the point I'm making. And so the
like
other thing
Sam
is that it's
Raimi
not,
style.
it's not gory. It's something that my son is interested in, and it's got single screen multiplayer, which is huge. It's not something you normally get.
That's true.
So he and I have been playing a lot of it, actually.
Online or only like the offline?
I've played online a lot. He and I play against the AI.
Okay.
There are two single screen multiplayer modes. One's versus and one is co-op, and they're just like the co-op ones are survival challenges, so you have to survive 15 waves in the various levels. And the first wave will just be like regular stormtroopers, and then they'll bring in heavy troopers, and then you'll get like an AT-ST attacking you, or TIE fighters, things like that. And you just kind of have to, just survive each wave, and they grab power-ups and that sort of thing. And it's a lot of fun. It uses a shared life system, so, and if you can complete a wave, if your partner goes down during that wave, they're automatically resurrected without using a life. So it actually works out really well because, and he and I have both done this, like if one of us dies with like 2 enemies left, we won't jump back in, we'll just wait for the other player to finish them off. And my son's actually gotten really good at the game. So I'm really, really enjoying it, I think, for that. I think I would probably still like it a lot if I wasn't playing with him, because the game looks awesome, and it's, got all these different Star Wars vehicles. It's just I don't know, to me it's like an original trilogy dream, really. But being able to play it with him, it's a whole other level. Like, he's asking to play it, and it's a game that I really love to sit down and play. I mean, I like the other game that we've been playing is Lego Batman, and I like that, but the Lego games tend to drag a lot.
Sure.
And this game is, it's just a ton of fun. I really, really enjoy it. I would highly recommend it. I know if you're like what is the regular series called? Battlefield?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're a hardcore Battlefield player, apparently this is quite basic. It doesn't hold up, but I'm not, so I really enjoy everything about this.
Awesome.
And it's really pretty. And it's Star Wars.
I played the beta and thought it looked great, but wasn't for me. Playing online, not for me. Yeah.
See, what I like about the online play is that every time I've gone to play online, you can just jump into any game whenever. And even though I'm not great, I'm constantly being rewarded, so it's got that going for it.
Okay. Phil, what do you got? Any more Badge Arcade?
Didn't I tell you pre-show that I have been playing literally nothing this week?
No more Badge Arcade? Come on, man. There's Pushmo badges came out. And a bunch of Pokemon badges.
Okay, it's not true. I did pop on and get the... I popped on my wife's 3DS and got the Eevee badge for her because Eevee is her favorite Pokemon, so...
Took a Pika.
Hey, you know what? We did talk last week about anime, what anime my kid has seen. And let me tell you, my kid has gotten hardcore into Pokemon during this past week.
Cool.
Really?
Like hardcore. I have an old stuffed Pikachu sitting around the house, and he has adopted it. And he was playing with it the other day, and I just happened to mention on a whim, hey, do you want to see some of the Pokemon cartoon? And he said sure, and now he is like really crazy into it. Like,
he's a Pokemaniac.
Cool.
Yeah, we've been watching the first season, and he is just, freaking out whenever Team Rocket shows up to cause mischief, and really getting into the storylines. He was watching the show, and I was in another room, and he comes running in, freaking out that Pikachu is thinking of evolving into Raichu, but he doesn't want to, but he has to become stronger.
These are complex issues.
To fight the other Raichu, and so it was it's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And he does a fairly he's napping right now. He's having a late nap today, or else I'd bring him in to do his Pikachu impression.
It's good.
He does a pretty solid Pikachu. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Nice.
So
Have your guys' kids checked out the Yokai Watch cartoon at all?
No.
No.
no. Is it on Netflix
No, it's Disney
or
XD.
Amazon Prime? Then no, we have not. We have not.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing here. If it's not on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, then no, I'm not watching it.
Yeah. He has
All
seen plenty of Pokemon and plenty of Tumbleleaf
Yeah.
and what else is on Netflix? I don't know.
Bow
That
on the
sort of
go.
thing.
Jessica
That's
Jones.
Bow on the
It's
go.
on Netflix.
Dude.
He hasn't seen any Jessica Jones yet.
Probably for the best.
I had
Men
to
on
turn
High
off
Castle.
Jessica Jones. We were watching it when my daughter was in the room, and I was like,
Why
okay,
do you do
we're
that?
done.
I gotta ask, why do you do that? Because that's like the third time you've mentioned watching something insanely inappropriate while your daughter is in the room.
Showgirl.
know.
Like, you know what, CJ? Just wait till she goes to bed before you fire up the red tube. That's all I'm saying.
The thing,
She
It's-
goes to
it's
bed.
You know what? It wasn't in the manual when I read it either, but it's a parenting thing that you kind of just.
She goes to sleep quite late. So
Well, maybe that's your first problem.
And when she goes to sleep and it's time for bed, it's daddy fallout time.
oh my
Oh
goodness.
my god.
It's weird that we haven't watched Jessica Jones yet, though, just because Finn, after watching Breaking Bad, he's a big Kristen Ritter fan.
So, like, dropping the whole
So-
the whole Finn watching bad things joke, though. Have you?
no, we can.
You should
what?
watch Jessica Jones. It's good.
Well, I've heard.
It's
Yeah, I haven't.
super good.
I've only
I
watched
haven't
the
had
first
to-
two episodes, but
Again, I
There's,
stressed last week I was very busy.
I saw a review on Polygon that was real good about Jessica.
Oh, is there a game coming out?
Nope.
But you said you saw a review on Polygon, so clearly they were talking about the game.
There was an article on US Gamer too.
Huh.
So there's a
I
game.
think Kotaku was. I think everybody was talking about Jessica Jones, and yeah, no game. Nope.
Also, don't sleep on it. Man in High Castle on Amazon Prime. Holy smokes.
Man in High Castle.
The Man in the High Castle.
Sorry.
So the
No, I'm asking so I know what to go look for.
It's on the front page. They're blasting it in your face no matter what Amazon thing you're on right now.
that's a Jim Brewer vehicle, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Jim Brewer as Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's his another crazy pot comedy for Jim
The
Brewer.
sequel to Super High Me.
I load up Amazon. I see the Statue of Liberty given the Nazi salute.
It's a cool show going right after we got to play the new Wolfenstein game. If you enjoyed that, I think you'll really enjoy this. It's like an alternate history. What if?
If you really like Nazis, then we have got the show for you.
Lots of Nazis die, so you get to see that a lot.
Oh, okay.
It's a good show. Yeah. They Amazon does this thing where they run the pilot
Right.
like a year before the thing actually goes to series, and I saw it last year. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah,
good.
okay.
I'll continue watching it at some point.
Cool twist too.
Kevin, you want to talk about some other games?
I'll quickly just talk about Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
This game looks awesome,
Good.
by the way.
Which game?
It's Assassin's Creed. The new
Okay.
Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, I've just got it this week because it came with my video card.
Let me ask you a question first. Your Assassin's Creed
My history?
Yeah, what's your history?
Finished 1, finished 2, finished Brotherhood, finished Black Flag. I skipped Revelations, or I tried getting into it through a rental, didn't get into it, and I played maybe 12. I played too much of Unity. What was last year's?
Unity.
Right? Yeah, I played too much of that game because it was just like uninspired. Obviously, the bugs and the glitches that they had on the PlayStation 4 and stuff, and it really, obviously, it's for a lot of people, it soured people on the series like it did myself. And obviously, I wasn't going to buy this game, but since it came free with my card and it came out on the PC this past Thursday, I ended up downloading it, and I played. This actually got me off of Fallout 4 because it is an amazing start. It has a great start to the game. Like, it throws you right into it. And the Victorian, I guess, England setting or London setting is just beautiful. It looks outstanding.
Videos of that game are incredible.
Totally.
Holy smokes. And I think it looks good on PS4 too, but again, not to pull like, it looks really, really good on a PC and it runs super smooth. And the big thing that stood out to me right at the start was, A, the setting, B, the combat is so much more fluid, and it is just way more brutal. Not in a good way, not in a bad way, but like the guy that you start off with kind of does like a little bare knuckle thing, like he's kind of like boxing, with this stuff. He still has the knife hands and stuff, but or the wrist knives, but it just the combat's super fun. It's still kind of Assassin's Creed. You hit B to counter, and then you hit X a bunch of times, and then stuff like that. But it just like all works really well. Like Assassin's Creed, the package is still great, but now they've put it together with an outstanding setting, which is just very fascinating to go into. And this is the second game. We talked about Fallout 4 having an outstanding soundtrack. The soundtrack for this game just gets you in the, knife and mood. Like, you just want to go up to put a knife in their temple and blast. And that's what you do. Like, instead of sneaking up to people and like get them in the back, you go up to them and you put the knife into the side of their temple now. So you have to ratchet it up. It's a sequel. You got to get more violent. But yeah, wow. Like, this is just adding on to the incredible fall season of outstanding games, and I can't wait to get into this more because the characters are great, the voice acting's been outstanding so far, and the setup for what they're doing in this game is incredibly fascinating, where the last game was just like, who gives a shit? Like, this, I actually kind of care about the characters that are involved. I care about what's at stake, and again, it looks really good. It plays really, really well. They did a great job rebounding with this entry.
I want to touch on something you said, though. Like, this fall has been incredible for games.
Oh my God!
Like,
You're not kidding.
The best one in a few years, I'd say. Because, man, oh man, I look at the games that I want to play, and I just don't even know where I would ever find the time to play everything that looks good.
Like Mario Tennis. Just kidding, sorry.
The thing about it, too, is that not only are the games really, really good, it's that games that came out earlier in the year are still getting content updates that you still want to play. Like the Bloodborne thing comes out this week, and yeah, Splatoon has been getting updates since it came out.
Witcher got an update.
Witcher,
yeah, I mean, like, and there's going to be more stuff in Fallout as well. Like, it's just like, pick a game and you can play for a long ass time on.
Just Cause 3 comes out in 10 days. Holy crap!
What is it?
Holy shit! You're right. Just Cause 3.
Like, what are we gonna do? Like, you guys, maybe you just make up an excuse and like go into a motel, bring your Xbox with you, and just say to the family, like, I gotta go on a business trip or some shit, and get out of there.
I've done that twice in the last month. She's not gonna believe me now.
All right.
This is the time of year when you use the days off that you have to use before the end of the year, right? At least.
You gotta use them.
Yeah,
that's what I would normally do.
Yeah. Playing Fallout 4 all day on Friday.
I was gonna say you played like 5 hours of Fallout 4 on Friday, didn't you?
Oh my God! Yeah, I streamed most of it too.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. So Assassin's Creed Syndicate is good. And if you got burned by Unity or burned out on the series before, you should try it. Is that what you're saying?
Again, absolutely, and give it a look. If you want to get on the PC, like since the codes are packed into everything, they're like $20 on eBay because I was thinking about reselling it. But go give it a look. It's a really good step. I think they will need to shake it up at some point, though.
All right. I mean, I wish they had delayed it till next year or something like the.
Yves Guillemot does not let Assassin's Creed come out outside of November.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the situation with Tomb Raider in Europe, right? Where it came out the same day as Fallout and sold like 60,000.
Well, that was the same year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And traditionally, it sold like 180,000 over there first week. And of course, some of that is it's not multi-platform anymore, so of course it's going to sell a little bit fewer.
But that's the thing. Like that seems like one of the biggest missteps this holiday. Is I realized that Tomb Raider's release date was set before Fallout 4's release date was announced. But where Microsoft paid to have that as an exclusive, man, why not get Square to move the date 1 week in either direction? Like, and you know, for anybody who pre-ordered it, give them a free outfit, like a downloadable outfit or something. Like, you know, it would have been easy to throw a bone. But why release it on the same day as Fallout 4? Oh my god.
Well, the other thing too is that I didn't even realize this, but Microsoft also has like the deal with Fallout, right? For mods to show up on the Xbox first. Like
they had the bundle.
Yeah, and Fallout is supposed to be like a big Xbox exclusive.
So why release them at the same time?
I don't know.
Just makes no sense to me.
Like Tomb Raider definitely got ignored. I feel like Fallout was, you know, that whole week was just Fallout, except for the stunt on Twitch where they had a bunch of like European YouTubers get up on that billboard and try to. Did you guys see that?
No.
This is how popular their promotion has been for Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, they had a contest where they had like 6 or 8 YouTubers get up on like a billboard and try to survive the for as long as they could to get some kind of Tomb Raider themed vacation. Anyway, it was very stupid stunt, but it was part of their promotion for Rise of the Tomb Raider.
But I just don't think anyone. Well, maybe I guess people did predict that Fallout. I think Fallout 4 they sold 10 million copies in the first week. That's incredible for a next current gen game. You know, obviously on PCs too, but like that's just a ton of money. That's Grand Theft Auto 5 type stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I think part of that is, you know, Fallout doesn't come out every year, so there's like a built-up demand for it. And you know, mentioning the games that Rockstar does the same kind of thing, right? Like they wait so that like when they have a next big release, it's an event, and it's going to overshadow whatever else comes out.
Yeah, and that's when you move your release dates around to make sure that you don't come out the same day as the next Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Should we do some tweets? Did you have anything else you want to talk about there, Kevin?
Street Fighter 2 on the Sega Saturn's really good. That's it.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, my Sega CD's feelings are still hurt, but I won't disagree with it.
No, you can play some Urban Champion CD on that thing.
So you're killing me.
All right, Hacker.
Eternal Champion. Sorry, I just did Urban.
There you go.
My fault. Oh my god.
That's
my internet.
Retro faux pas. All right, Hacker alias Ben V138 says, if PS3 didn't blunder its launch, how different do you think the gaming landscape would be?
I think it depends on, I don't know, because they blundered the PS3 launch on so many different levels.
Yes.
I mean, there was sort of the consumer-facing arrogance of the executive. There was the insane price tag. But there's also the system architecture being so different and the complete lack of developer support. So, I mean, there was a lot to do differently on that system.
Yeah, well, at that time, PSN compared to Xbox Live, like, it was not...
Yeah, well, there's another thing.
It was not what Xbox Live was.
No trophies.
No
achievements
trophies.
were like the new hotness. I mean, if they had not blundered it, I don't know if it would have changed things or not. But because, I mean, at the end of the day, Microsoft just still did everything so right.
They did everything so right. And you can look at what's happening right now with Microsoft, where they have very, very quickly tried to turn around the things that they got wrong at the launch of the Xbox One. And it is working, but it is not working to the extent that, they're still far behind the PlayStation 4, you know.
It's definitely a turnaround, though. They sold the most consoles in October in the U.S.
They did. Yeah,
which
yeah,
they
yeah.
should consider in their fall lineup.
Considering Halo 5, yeah.
Well, I mean, but don't hold that against them. Like,
Oh,
it's
no, no.
definitely a positive turnaround. You know,
Absolutely,
I give them
sure.
all the credit in the world because they, like, when they came out, that was just one huge misstep after another, and they've spent the last year and a half trying to turn it around, and
you give
been
Phil
largely
as much
successful.
money as possible because Phil has
Yeah,
been
absolutely.
Phil
incredible for
Spencer,
them.
not Theobald.
Oh,
Don't give
boo.
Phil Theobald crap.
Hey. Gee whiz.
He makes so much money teaching, dude.
I know, it's true. They spoil us.
I've only got 2 months off a year. Shut
Yeah,
you
I
up pretty
mean,
quick.
it's one of those things.
During which time I get paid.
Mm.
There you go. It's one of those things where, yeah, Greg, to your point, like it's not just one thing. There are many blunders, and to me, even releasing later than the 360 could be considered,
Yeah.
you know, putting them at a disadvantage.
Right.
Anyway, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Last Place 09, who says, "Do you think the PS4 game community is like Nier?" In parentheses, he says, "Pointless and nobody knows how to use it effectively." So yeah, the PS4 communities section, which by the
Yeah.
way, we have like 300 people in the
Do we
Player One
really?
Whoa.
communities section. Yeah, we have a lot
Wow.
of people. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I haven't been there since.
What do we do with that?
Since you started
we
it.
don't have much.
How do we monetize that, Phil?
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where, I mean, you have to like post to it, and I don't
Sounds
know,
exhausting.
you can't just see like a list of what people are doing on or what achievements they're getting or what screenshots they're posting just in general on their timeline like don't get brought over. So I mean,
It seems totally like something that was created for the publishers to have their community managers run.
yeah, I mean, here's the other thing. You look at Nintendo with Miiverse and how that thing has evolved, and being able to access it on the web is actually a really, really important part of this. Like, if Miiverse did not have a web component, I would never visit it. So
You go out of your way to visit the Miiverse?
I visit Miiverse,
Do you
yes.
really?
I
Okay.
do. I do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So alien to me.
So if Sony had like a web component or a web interface to check communities, I think it would be a lot better. That would be a step in the right direction.
Hmm.
I'm just saying.
Maybe like a virtual world where you could buy goods.
Hmm.
And do little dances as
Make
well.
little-
Hey.
Yeah.
Watch videos and interact with other like-minded players.
What if you want to get together
maybe
before a game of
themed
Killzone?
areas of the world.
Yeah.
I want to stand in line to play an arcade game of Uncharted.
Stand
All right.
Hmm.
Hacker alias Docky says, "Were you ever put off a game by intense fans? I haven't enjoyed Portal since cake memes and Undertale's fandom rankles."
There you go.
Mm.
Undertale's fandom has not put me off of that game. I don't think I've ever been put off of a game
Yeah.
because of intense fandom, but I think my expectations have been set way too high in certain cases where it was just impossible for the game to meet them.
I think that's true.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any problems with a fan community putting me off a game. I have occasionally had to step back and remind myself that I actually enjoy Nightmare Before Christmas and Invader Zim for the movies and shows that they are, despite the hot topification of its fan base. But I don't think I've had that problem with a game. So.
All right then.
Any idea what you're talking about? What is that a thing? Like, is it?
You mean where you are a fan of the original material and then it gets so popular and maybe co-opted by a fandom that you have to recall that you like the thing that was originally based on, not the culture around it.
I don't think it's a matter of it becoming too popular, or so suddenly being now that people like it, it can't be cool. It's sometimes you have fandoms that are can be a bit toxic.
Okay.
A recent example is Steven Universe. This is a wonderful, wonderful cartoon, but a good chunk of its online fan base can be very antagonistic and ugly and wanting to create conflict and that sort of thing, and it can be a little, like I said, toxic to your enjoyment of the property.
I think that's true with like gaming in general. If you're in the wrong places, like almost anything, like if you're in the wrong places.
Right.
This just quickly reminded me that I can't believe we didn't mention this in the news, but for the Video Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's Video Game Awards, Churches is going to be playing there at the
Nice.
Video Game
Yeah,
Awards.
they got popular though, and I really don't.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, man, like now, but man, they're outstanding, and it will be good
Oh, yeah,
for
they
them
are.
to get out there. And both those guys there, Ian and oh god,
the other guy.
the other guy, they're super hardcore.
Yuzo Shiro. I think his name is Yuzo
Who's playing?
Shiro.
Churches.
Yuzo Koshiro's Churches.
The chicken place?
Yes,
Yep.
the chicken place.
So
Isn't
That
that
is some-
Churches?
Mighty fine
Normally-
Louisiana style chicken.
normally doing Doritos event, now moving up to
Most folks
fried
call
chicken.
it finger licking.
The show was awesome last year. Last year was an outstanding
Yeah.
show. I have
I
high
agree
hopes
with
for
that.
this year.
I agree with that. Hacker alias John F1345 says, "Is this the worst year that Nintendo
Of
has
the Player
ever?"
One podcast? Possibly. Quite
I think we
possibly.
better
No.
ourselves every year in that category.
Is this the worst year that Nintendo has ever had? Is the question.
Didn't know that Virtual Boy come out this year?
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. What about those last years of GameCube and the Wii?
Last year's N64.
Mm.
Were they good?
Yeah. I mean, just look at Splatoon, Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Holy
so.
World.
Yeah.
Like they have had a pretty good year considering
I think-
what it could have been, right? I mean,
I think Phil's right. I think you throw in years like the year the Virtual Boy came out, which was what, 97?
Yeah.
And
think-
then you look at like the original launch of the DS. Despite what the DS and the DS line became, it was quite a mess when the DS was released.
or the
Like,
3DS.
We've talked about this, well, that too, but I mean the DS in particular. We've talked about this on the show before. Like, remember they had they seemed like they had such
90.
little faith in it that they weren't really willing to kill off the Game Boy,
Right.
Greg?
yet, just in case.
95, by the way, for
95.
the Virtual
Okay. I
Boy.
don't know why I
95.
said
That's
97.
That's earlier than I would have
Yeah.
placed it actually.
Yeah.
But
But that was a disaster. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
It is
anyway,
not
you can go to
Nintendo's
charge
worst
shop.
year.
They're holding down the charge shot and getting ready for NX. They have to hold. They're working on stuff. It's just didn't come out this year.
Yeah, I think this year is definitely a step down from last year. This time
Well,
last year, we were all raving about Wii U games.
It was all spin-offs. It was, a Zelda spin-off. It was all the Animal Crossing stuff that they did, and then it was the weak Mario Tennis game that came out this week.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two unbelievable. Mario Maker is a Game of the Year contender for a lot of people. Splatoon is a huge surprise for a lot of people. Yoshi's
Especially
Woolly
in
World
Japan.
is a decent game.
Yeah. Whirly World is great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amiibos selling like hotcakes.
The Amiibo thing's going out of control. Oh my god! I went into EB the other day, and I mean, I've been vaguely following it, but I wasn't prepared for the onslaught of Animal Crossing Amiibo.
Oh yeah.
That's why they made the new game. They made a board game to put out more Animal Crossing amiibos. Wasn't there actually a direct quote from Nintendo or someone who said we basically made this game so we could make the amiibos? I might be making that might be internet bullcrap.
I have no idea.
I'm sorry.
But
Well, whether or not they came out and admitted it, that's the case. So,
Yeah.
Right.
I bought the amiibos but didn't buy the game.
I bet next year is going to be incredible. 2016 for Nintendo is just from what they're like Dragon Quest games on 3DS. They're going to have.
Well, here's my question about that. Here's my question about that. 2016, yeah, they have like the Dragon Quest stuff looks good. I think we're all kind of thinking that it's going to be a transition year, and the NX is going to be announced at some point. When do you think the NX gets announced? Is it E3 or do they do it earlier than that? And
I don't know if they're going to release it next year. E3 seems really late.
That is super late. Exactly. Like if they're actually going to release it in November next year, we pretty much have to find out about developers have to find out about it pretty soon into 2016. Like they really kind of have to get moving on that. So I don't know. Like does that mean that NX like I think a lot of people
Unless
in the press
it's just a set-top box that plays all your Android games.
a lot of people in the press and a lot of people on internet forums think, oh, for sure the NX is coming out in 2016, and I'm just not sure that that's going to happen. Like
the Wii U is anemic for next year. There's nothing coming for the Wii U outside of Zelda.
Holding up the.
And the
3DS is super old.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing new about the new Nintendo 3DS. Right. Am I right?
I gotcha.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like if they have to do something, like they kind of have to announce. They definitely have to announce it before E3. They have to have games to show off at E3 at that point, and they have to have like a lineup ready to go by that point.
Well, I'm not worried about Nintendo having stuff to show off because Nintendo's quite good at keeping things under wraps. I mean, not necessarily.
Nintendo's quite good at turning me on.
Sorry. No, like I mean, it's it's not uncommon to know that they're going to show something, but I find generally when they do their direct for E3, you'll see shit in there that you haven't seen before, and it's close to release.
Sure, I think that the Nintendo Direct that came out that January after the Wii U launched so horribly and was like, we're just going to announce everything we've got in case
right.
on fence about buying one. Please buy a system, please, 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 and then nobody did. I think, like, they've got to get their stuff together for 2016. And I mean, if it means that NX is a backwards compatible system where this is more of a platform play, then here are the new games specifically for NX, and we're going to sort of make it a bridge between 3DS and Wii U and release the Zelda game on Wii U and NX, then that could be okay, but you're going to need a bunch of new content.
Mm-hmm.
People are just, they're going to need, they're going to be like, where's my 3D Mario? Where's Mario Kart? Where's Smash Brothers? Where's insert popular Nintendo franchise here? You know, that's the thing that sort of plagues all of their hardware launches. I mean, they better get moving. Anyway, Hacker Alias Penwisen says, I've never played a Pokemon game. Where would you rec I begin? Classic Game Boy games on VC, one of the remakes, X and Y on 3DS, or other? What do you think?
I have no opinion.
I'm going to say X and Y.
Right.
Really?
Start there.
Why is that?
Because of the experience share thing that you can do and level up your Pokemon really quick. Like I think X and Y is one of the fastest moving Pokemon games and most enjoyable for me.
Yeah?
I liked that game a lot. And
I
finished
probably would not recommend the classic ones on the Virtual Console.
No.
Unless you have actual nostalgia for those, because they are very, very primitive compared to what we currently have.
Or you know what you could do? probably going to release another mainline Pokemon game next year, right? You could always wait for that one.
You could play Yokai Watch instead, and you can get at the start of a new series.
Or you could do that.
Shake it up.
That was Shake It Off.
Just think, while you've been getting down and out about the Mewtwo's and the dirty, dirty Pikachus of the world, you could have been getting down to this sick
beat.
All right. Is that a show?
Hey! What?
Is that it?
Well,
yeah.
That's the end? I think
Well,
that's the end. We'll end on that note.
my boyfriend brought his new girlfriend. She's like, oh my god, I'm just gonna shake into the fella over there with the hella good hair. She come on over here, we can shake.
Shake.
I like how the Player One podcast is like a year behind the times on all of.
Bite me.
I have no idea what that song even is.
Really?
Wow, Kevin
Is
Larrabee
the,
even further behind the times.
Well,
It
is
was
this
the
like
latest,
is this from a Pixar movie?
Do you know Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, I know Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, that's
Personally?
the latest track off of Miley's.
Latest
Yeah,
No, that's
It's
not.
not the
You're
latest
wrong.
track.
Wrong.
What?
that's her latest fat beat.
Sick
That's the latest sick beat.
It's Taylor Swift. Anyway.
She's great.
She is a delight.
Yeah.
Hey.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for joining us. If you would like to comment on what you've heard, or perhaps pose a question for us to answer on the show, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information, blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Seward,
Yep, new one someday.
and Generation 16 episodes.
That episode, man. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's coming.
All right. And you'll find a message board where you can discuss Fallout 4 or Rise of the Tomb Raider or this
Transformers
episode. Yeah, really any games that we've been playing or our listeners have been playing. You can discuss all that with us and our other listeners.
Because the player's gonna play. And the hater's gonna hate. Maybe I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off.
All right.
Yes, Kevin wipes a tear from his eye. It's understandable.
That was a tear of rage.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store while you're at the iTunes Music Store. It's about $9.99
Cheap.
to pick up Shake It Off by Taylor Swift.
Worth every penny.
Good God.
And hey, Android cell phone telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
By Grabthar's Hammer. What a savings.
Yeah, voicemail and all that stuff. You have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device as well. We are on Stitcher. You can like us on Facebook. You can join our Steam group. You can join our PS4 community for whatever good that's going to do you.
Updated again during the Bully Game Club.
You can. You can check us out on your PS Vita on Nier.
What about on SegaNet? Do you have a chat room on
maybe.
SegaNet?
I don't know.
Yeah, we
Greg?
got a Sega Swirl game going. You can join
Yes. Yes.
I
Play
like
some
to- I
Quake
like to
3 and
see
some
the
NFL
Sega Swirl.
2K1 with you guys later.
Oh man. You can. We have an archive of our past episodes on the YouTubes. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Most weeks it's youtube.com/P1Podcast. Follow our Twitter account to find out when we do our next live show. And if you like what you've heard, or heard what you liked, and I don't suggest you do either, you can head on over to our Patreon page at player1.patreon.com.net. What is it? Patreon.com/P1podcast. You can throw a few shekels our way to keep the hits coming, and CJ's still trying to get all the badges from the Badge Arcade, so
That's right.
so help him out. And if you have a couple bucks left over, head on over to Generation-16 to donate to Greg Stewart's fantastic, if not long forgotten, web series.
$5 or
16.
more, you get every episode a week early.
When's the next episode coming?
God knows.
Okay. This better be a rock solid episode, man. I have no faith. No.
What I've got done, I
have no faith. I have every faith. I have every faith that it will be great. So
Thank
just
you.
a long episode.
Yeah, and
There'll be premiere problems.
that too. Like that's actually,
Yeah.
to be honest, that's one of my biggest issues. Is I need a new computer badly.
Ooh.
So hey, if you want to toss a couple bucks into the Patreon, that is the type of thing it's going to be going to buy.
No,
So
there you go.
because my
You
computer
Certainly won't be
can't deal with
wasting.
it.
Certainly won't be wasting money on any Coke Zero anytime soon.
Amen to that.
Yes. So Generation 16, fantastic series. Check it out. Generation-16.com. It'll light Greg up if you do. His face will get a healthy glow about it. Did you just turn on a monitor or something? Or something, a
Well
flashlight
timed.
in your face?
Well
But,
timed.
yeah. Okay, CJ,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Seward,
Yo,
thank you.
thank you, Phil.
Thank you. And, of course, a super special, extra thick, extra greasy, extra shinobi thanks to our very special guest, Kevin
Yuzo Koshiro.
Laramie. Where can we find you misattributing soundtracks to Yuzo Koshiro?
Well, speaking of soundtracks, there's a new episode of Back in My Play scheduled to be
Oh.
coming out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I will be having Mohammed and also Marco from Brave Wave coming on. Marco's the engineer, I guess you would say, behind the remastering of the new Street Fighter II soundtrack. And it's going to be about our, of course, as always, memories and histories with the Street Fighter II series, as well as the history behind how this whole soundtrack set got put together from them. So it'll be great to talk about the composers, the history of the series, the history of the music in that series, and it will be, I can announce this is a breaking news.
Uh-oh.
That we're doing a new episode of Back in My Play.
All right.
Laramie Lock right there.
Fantastic.
Hear about that?
Yeah, and you guys can always go and check them out at backofmyplay.com. There's a really good Mighty Final Fight episode with Phil. One of my favorite episodes.
That's right.
I loved that episode.
That's a fun episode.
Just took a dump on Final Fight, except for Mighty Final Fight.
A well-deserved dump on Final Fight.
On the Super Nintendo entries, and then also,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about Greg and CJ, the SegaNet episode, since we brought it up, that was also a ton of fun. Man, I had a blast on that episode. If I remember correctly, overly caffeinated in Japan when we did that. I think so. Check all that stuff out because it's a show that's about people that love retro games, and it's good to be bringing it back for one more episode before the end of the year.
Cool.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Kevin.
Oh, thank you guys, and thank
Very
you to
much.
the Player One audience. People were super, super kind last week on Twitter after I was on last week, so you guys kick butt. Thank you so much.
Aw.
And you guys are okay.
When are we doing a Sega CD episode of Back in Play?
We'll do a Sega CD episode when monkeys fly out of my butt.
We'll arrange that.
2000, like early 2016.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? I think Shinobi 3 is definitely. I'm putting together. I'm building the list.
Okay.
Because I told you last week I started getting the itch, and I pulled out some consoles, and I did some stuff, and I'm starting to get the itch. And again, it's just there's no regular schedule. It's just like whenever I feel really good about doing something, it will happen. So
I'm down.
Awesome.
Cool.
always, guys, thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you. And that's it. Let's
Bye
show.
bye bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Later.
Yuzo.